Experiencing the chaos of debarking from Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas in Ravenna was a lesson in patience and preparation. It's Bonnie back once again with a crazy tale to tell. Let me share with you the must-know tips to avoid the nightmare I faced and some invaluable travel advice for Bologna. Don't let what happened to me happen to you. Let's get started. For departures out of Ravenna, it is necessary to specify how you will be leaving the ship. Will you be taking a cruise transfer with their buses, or are you planning on taking a taxi? There is no way to get out of the Ravenna cruise port. Taxis are few and far between, and they arrange buses to get everyone to the train station or to the airport. A lot of people are going to Venice, some are overnighting in Venice, and then they'll be going out of the Venice Marco Polo Airport, and we are arriving on a Sunday, so there's really limited service. I personally need a bus to the train station. Another thing is important, it's very helpful if you download an app for your train tickets. I bought my train tickets on that particular app, and that way the QR code is shown at the turnstile, and it will save you time in line, so you don't have to worry about being in line at a train station and being in a hurry. You can just go. The prices that they're giving are pretty competitive, and I'll go over that. Pier to Ravenna train station, which is what I need to be doing, it's $10 per person from 7 in the morning. Pier to Venice Airport is $45 per person for flights departing after 11:45 in the morning. Pier to Bologna Airport is $40 per person for flights after 10:50 in the morning. Pier to Torrential, which is the Venice city center, if you just want to go to Venice and you're spending a few days, it's $58 per person from 7:15 is the early departure and 8:45 is the late departure. Pier to Bologna train station, $30 per person from 7 in the mornings. I probably would have taken the Bologna train station, or even I would have taken the Bologna airport had I known this, but I never knew this existed. This is the journey from the ship to Venice will take approximately 3.5 hours, and Bologna is 1.5 hours, and Ravenna train station is 20 minutes. So it's good to know these things, and I hope this helps you. So for the app, the Royal Caribbean app for departure info didn't register. So make sure that you check your transportation arrangements with guest services. It's really important you do that because you don't want to be stopped at departure without a ticket. So I was just talking to my stateroom attendant a minute or two ago, and what happened was when I went downstairs for my transfer information, I was just telling you about how you need to specify where you want to go and what you want to do. I went downstairs and guest service people refreshed my app and they added in a departure thing, and he said you can just go ahead and fill this all in, and it says self-assist or luggage assist and what time and everything. He goes, we'll take care of it and you'll be all good to go. I noticed when my stateroom attendant came up this morning, no luggage tags or any information, so I just called him. He said I was on self-assist. Went downstairs, stood in this huge line to talk to somebody, and they told me that we're sorry, we're all booked up, all our transfers are completely booked. We can only get you on a possible 9:30 departure. That's going to be cutting it close, and I don't want to cut it close with 60 pounds of luggage per person. And they said, well, we're sorry, but this is what we do for people that didn't make a reservation. I go, no, but I did make a reservation. It was the very first day, and it was on your app. Apparently the app's not working, and I knew who I talked to, and he remembered me, and I remembered him. It got completely resolved. Now I'm leaving at 8 and it's all good, but do yourself a favor and don't book on the app. And if you were a new traveler, you wouldn't know anything about this. So I'm just letting you know that you want your luggage tags the night before, or if you're self-assist, that's great. But if you are booking something with the transfer system, the transportation, and you need tags and you need assistance, you have to make sure that's going to happen for you. And they agree there are some problems. There's a huge line. I don't know how many other people have this problem, so just FYI. As it turns out, I really didn't even need to worry about the bus, because what I've noticed with Royal Caribbean transfer for buses to the airport or to the train station, basically there were 2,600 people trying to get on a bus to various places, and everything was designated by the luggage tag. But since this was an irregular operation, computers were down, it was pouring rain, and everything that was going to be in an orderly fashion became just one line of hundreds of people waiting for buses at all different times. So really your designated luggage tag and all the worry I had the night before didn't even matter. There were a lot of people just waiting and upset and worried that they weren't going to make their connections. They did try to encourage us to go under an awning, which was a kind of a makeshift tent type structure, but no one wanted to move because we all were in line for our bus times and people were taking cuts in line. Luckily, I had an umbrella. My husband had a soft-sided bag and everything inside the bag was soaking wet. So far, disembarkation has not gone too smooth. Everything was fine at first. We were supposed to get off at 8 and after I finally made that arrangement last night. But unfortunately, when I got downstairs, said that this guest services needed my credit card. It should have transferred over on my back-to-back. I wasn't allowed off the ship and I had to go back up to guest services to resolve the issue. There were 300 other people with the same problem. Because nothing transferred over. My passport didn't transfer over, my credit cards didn't transfer over, so I had to go back up. And then I couldn't get down the elevator because it was too full. I've missed my bus. My train leaves at 11. I don't know if I'm going to make it. These are things that you run into. A lot of people got stopped for their credit cards and some were really upset because everybody has given a card but they can't look it up because their system's down. So they have some internal computer problems or something. I don't know what it is. Their technology is outdated or something. I'm not really sure. It's not, the interfacing isn't right. They need to have someone fix that for sure. But call 0 when you get on if you're doing a back-to-back. She said to make sure everything's transferred, at least on this ship, the Explorer of the Seas. I actually had a man in front of me that refused to move from security. He wouldn't go upstairs, he wouldn't do anything. He said he did what he was supposed to do and they need to fix it. And the line kept growing and growing and growing, so we all just relocated to another part of the departure area. We went forward instead of midship, and it was kind of a mass move there. It was crazy. I didn't catch that on film, but you can imagine how frustrated everybody is. So last night when I was trying to book my time, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid, but unfortunately, what are you going to do? You just have to go with it here. It's a novice port. They don't really have their act together yet. I think it used to be Venice was the place you would actually stop, so now this is new. I mean, not really new, but new enough. We're at 45-minute mark here. Haven't quite made it yet. Still waiting. Well, we got on the bus. It's 9:20, and we started at around, what, 8? I think 8 o'clock was when we're supposed to be off. It's crazy here. A lot of people are upset. I mean, the weather doesn't help either. Everyone's soaked, but well, at least we made it. A mixture of times on our bus. There's some 8:15, 8:30, etc. So luckily I was smart enough to book a train at 10:45. So I got to kind of hurry once I get off of here, but at least I have an hour to play with. So don't make any arrangements till at least 11 or 12 to be on the safe side if you're going to do this, because you don't know what's going to happen. There are 3,400 people on this ship that need transportation somewhere. So yeah. So we got off the bus. Basically you hang a right, take the elevator, and you're walking under the steps to the central station where you can purchase a ticket. I downloaded the app Trainline and I just have my tickets on my phone. So we're in the Ravenna train station. Looks like this. Nothing too exciting. The elevators weren't working, so we had to go upstairs with heavy luggage. And if you have more than one item, you have to watch your stuff. Luckily, I had a luggage angel once again that helped me out with my luggage. I'm really lucky in some of these cities. I always run into people I don't know. So now we're in the station. I got my track 1 and we're ready to go. A little bit busy with our luggage, but we made it. Here we are in the Bologna train station. It's actually really much bigger than I expected, and there's many tracks. These are all the departures that go out. Ticket purchases here. To get to the airport is Marconi Express. It's like a little tram, so you can get that online as well. It's the Marconi Express. Busier than I expected. It's fairly busy. There's probably about 20 tracks, and there's lots of college kids here. It is a college town. Tomorrow morning my flight is at 8, and I was planning on spending a day here in a bed and breakfast, and then coming to the train station to leave early in the morning. And I found out the train doesn't leave till 5:40, and we are a good 20-minute walk away. So I just think logistically, and the weather is terrible, it's pouring rain, I'm still wet from my earlier part of the day. So we have changed our plans. Now we're going to be staying at a hotel on the airport premises with an airport shuttle. All this luggage is just difficult with cobblestone, etc., etc. So we are going to put our stuff in a room and maybe come back into town and have some fabulous tortellini, because that's what this place is known for. And we are going to find that, but first we got to get rid of the luggage. Kind of difficult. It's not difficult, but you have to look for Marconi Express. It's like a tram that runs every 7 minutes from the train station, and it costs €2 to get to the airport, and it's a 10-minute ride. Quite a day today. A lot of traveling. Airport though, and you go right this way through, but you have to have your ticket. I had a ticket from online and I scanned it coming in. I need to scan it going out as well. So we made it to our hotel. We had to wait in a taxi line for about 40 minutes because it's Sunday and the taxis do operate. They're just not as frequent. We luckily got a taxi that could accommodate our luggage because we have a lot of stuff. The taxi ride was €14. The shuttle service does run on this particular hotel, but it doesn't run after 12:25 in the afternoon, and then it picks up again around 9:30 at night. It runs from 5 a.m. all the way till 12:30. Keep that in mind, but it is pretty close to the hotel, to the airport. Checked in the hotel. We had a really nice guy that checked us in. He said, "I'm going to upgrade you," which was really nice. An upgraded room. It has a kind of a semi-living room, balcony kind of thing for outside. A third bed for a child, I guess. And this is the bedroom. It's a huge bathroom. Isn't that nice? I mean, I'm so used to the cruise bathroom. I guess another reason it seems so huge. This huge walk-in closet. It's on Booking.com. I think with tax total it was $195, and I just booked this. I know that it's cold. I bought a sweatshirt, but now I'm actually wearing it because it's freezing. Low 60s. Remember too, when you're traveling to Italy, you need an adapter for their electricity. So you'll need the kind with the 2 longer prongs to fit into the electricity outlet. They say that this is pretty good. It's traditional. Maybe I'll try that. The tortellini. Bologna dish is tortellini, kind of like a soup. And pizza, of course, which sounds really good too. This is our homemade margarita pizza. What have I done today? I got off the ship. Complete mayhem. I would say that this debarkation was probably the worst I've ever experienced. Being stopped in the middle of the security exiting. Yeah, just these things you just have to be aware of. My question to them was, well, what could I do to prevent this in the future? And they said, just call guest services to make sure everything's all good. I know this is a lot of information, so as a recap, make sure the app for departure on your phone for Royal Caribbean is in fact registering your transportation information. Check with guest services. And if you are on a back-to-back, make sure that your credit card information and passport did in fact transfer over. Check with them in person or on the phone. Don't let what happened to me happen to you. And then, of course, bus transfer times are loose. So anybody boards any bus, that's what I've noticed. So show up early to make sure that you get the bus you'd like. And download a train app like Timeline. Here you can buy your tickets that way. The QR code will save you time. There will be no lines for you at the train station to ticket purchase. Also, the Marconi Express operates kind of the same way, but they have their own website. You can buy a ticket from them online, and that way just print the paper copy and bring it with you. It'll just save you time. And also, if your airport shuttle is part of your hotel, make sure it is operating at the times you need. And also, finally, bring an umbrella, a packable raincoat, and maybe even a poncho to protect your luggage if you are standing in the rain. Otherwise, all the clothes in your suitcase will get very wet. What I've learned is definitely book your things after 11. I think I said that already. Have some euros handy because I paid in euros for my taxi. There is an ATM in the airport. I happened to use it, so that was fine. The taxis are located outside the door on the lower deck on arrivals. If you go out the door and to the left, follow the taxi sign. The taxis are white colored and they have set rates. It said right there when I showed him what I needed to do, he just programmed the price in. So they were honest. And so we're going from here to London to home. But what I have learned is communication is key. I don't know if it was weather related or just like I was saying, the port itself, the communication between the ship and the port with the buses. I think they didn't order enough or something. I'm not sure. They could work on their communication a little bit better in many ways. They may have lost some people due to their customer service at the end. It was a mess. And then we got to the train station and stood in line for our train. Look up the train number and the location on the departure board, and it tells you what track to go on to. When it opened and everyone got off, I just got on, even though they hadn't changed the number. We were able to get prime seats and get where we wanted to sit. I'd say most of the train is full of cruise passengers trying to get to Bologna, and it's just a faster option than Venice, because Venice is 3.5 hours away, and everybody felt safe and everyone's luggage was accommodated. I believe it was $18 to go on a 1 hour and 9-minute ride from Ravenna to Bologna. I realized really fast that maybe this wasn't the best idea to be staying downtown. I have to relocate it early in the morning. My flight leaves at 8. I have to be at the airport 3 hours ahead of time, at least, they say. It's an international flight to London. I picked a off the airport location, the airport shuttle, after I had booked it, and it was around 1:30. I found out that they don't operate until later tonight. Little details you don't think about. I mean, you would think an airport shuttle is 24 hours or at least most of the day, but it wasn't. So it was a lot. I'm just glad to say I made it, and hopefully tomorrow's smoother. That is how you get from, believe it or not, from the cruise terminal to Bologna Airport. I just want to say thank you for watching. Sometimes I feel like this is a therapy for me to have this way of talking to the camera to get it off my chest. So I appreciate you listening. And that particular ship is going on to more of the Adriatic and to Greece. People I met that are actually continuing on, so that's amazing. But I'm kind of glad to get out of this weather. The weather's been really terrible for this particular time of the year. It's not typical, but you just never know when you travel, so just always be prepared for any kind of weather. So good morning from Bologna Airport. We just checked in over there. A seamless process. It's so funny, I lament on my weight. They don't even care here. It's just like, and they let me check my carry-on as well, free. So they're easy going here in Bologna, and the security line looks pretty long, and it's not even 6 a.m. yet. So we're off to the security line. It's the cafeteria like a Starbucks, and this is the terminal. And we're ready to go. They do have a lot of little things where you've got to have your passport available and scan your boarding pass and all that. And if you have any problems pulling things up on your phone because maybe you don't have Wi-Fi or it's not working or for some reason, you just go to a live person when you check in, and they will give you a boarding pass with a barcode on it, and that will work for all the doors you need to go through, because you do need something that works. We just got a printed one. Also, check in early. It's just always a good idea, and keep track on the monitors for any delays or gate changes. Straight ahead is the Terminal 234 free train transfer, and we have to go to Terminal 2. It's kind of near the underground, so make sure you get out the right elevator. Terminal 23, if that's where you're going. You know, I got a really good deal by doing this, so that's why I left from Bologna on British Airways to London, and then United from London to San Francisco. So I am ready to be home now, and it was a great trip. This is the Ted Baker store in the Heathrow Airport. Libby, this looks like you. I can see you wearing this dress. Thank you again for watching. If you have found this valuable, informative, or helpful, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I have an extensive playlist on the Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas. We went to some awesome places and you might want to check that out. Subscribe for more cruise tips and travel information. Travel is always a learning experience no matter how much you've done or how many places you've traveled to. I mean, every time is different. So I'm happy to share the information and thank you again for watching. Until next time.